Raw took place in Paris, France at Accor Arena. You had Obafemi kicking off the show. He got a big pop. And this crowd, by the way, not just in the opening segment, but throughout the entire show, they were electric. And Oba was super over. They kept chanting Oba over and over again. Eventually, Oba basically had to tell the fans to shut up so he can talk. He mentioned Paul Heyman, and Paul Tuck was taken out last week with the spear by Braun Breaker. And Oba says he will win King of the Ring. Then he mentions Brock Lesnar. He called him a bitch. Then Dominic Mysterio interrupts him. He was booed heavily. Of course, they're going at it next week in the semifinals. JD McDonough hit Oba in the back with the steel chair. He no-sells it, kind of like Hulk Hogan used to do. Whenever like a heel manager or like a smaller guy would like hit him in the back with the chair, he'd just turn around and no-sell it. I actually like that. Dom tried to attack Oba. He hit him with a 619, but eventually Oba fights him off, and JD pulled Dom before he was about to get hit with a fall from grace. So Oba standing tall, setting up their semifinal match next week, and that will be in Baltimore. Jackie Redmond, welcome back, Jackie. We missed you. I love Kathy too, but I did miss Jackie as well. Looking great as always. She interviewed Seth Rollins backstage. Right when they showed Seth, he was super over. They immediately began singing his song. He says he'll win King of the Ring and challenge Roman Reigns. And right when he said it, I thought, oh, that's what we're getting at SummerSlam. Makes sense. Well, that didn't really happen tonight, but we'll get into that later. And I have to say this about Seth. He has no real charisma. It's so obvious, and I've known that for years watching him, but there's no real charisma watching him. You know, he's not necessarily a bad promo. It's just like there's something missing with his personality. That's just, it's almost unsettling, or maybe it's like unpleasant. I don't know what to say. Kind of obnoxious, his voice. To be honest, it's unpleasant. And he just doesn't have much charisma. I've always noticed that, but it really, looking back at his career, that's what he lacked. Anyway, coming out next to a big pop was Alexa Bliss. Fans liked her. They chanted her for most of the match, by the way. There's a lot of Lexi chants in the Fatal 4 match, but then we go to the break, and that's when Chelsea Green came out. Fans liked her as well. All four of them were very over. Then Becky Lynch came out, got a nice pop too. They liked her. And then the birthday girl, Liv Morgan, came out. She was singing her song. I guess she does that too. I think Rhea Ripley does that when they both come out. They sing their songs now. Trouble, Trouble, that's her song. And that song is a guilty pleasure for me. I know everyone hates it. They think it's terrible. Or most people, from what I've heard, the reception's negative. I like it. It's like a guilty pleasure. And there was, I had to mention this, in the crowd, there was a very large horizontal happy birthday Liv sign in the crowd. And that was nice to see. They really loved the birthday girl, Liv Morgan, who's only 32 years old. Looks like she's 22. Very incredibly beautiful, Liv Morgan. And we got our Queen of the Ring quarterfinal match, Fatal 4 match. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green. Three big names. I think three of the four are Hall of Famers in the women's division. Are going to be, maybe four. Chelsea might get into Women's Hall of Fame, but we know for sure those are three guaranteed Hall of Famers: Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Liv Morgan. And they had happy birthday chants to Liv in the crowd. And Chelsea had a cool crossbody to the outside. They were into all four of them. That was nice to see. And this is a European crowd. Like, they're into everyone. But you don't usually see matches too much when everyone is over. And all four of them were over. They liked Alexa probably the most. There was a lot of Lexi chants. But they liked Becky, too, even though she's a heel. They love Liv. It's her birthday. And they like Chelsea, too. And she's the least pushed of the four. So that tells you that they're really into all of them. And a fun match. And eventually, there's a sequence near the end where everyone hit their finisher. First, I think Alexa hit the Twisted Bliss DDT onto Liv. And then Becky hit the manhandle slam to Alexa. She went to stack up Alexa and pin her. But then that's when Chelsea grabbed Becky and hit the Unprettier. And Chelsea was pinning Becky. But then Liv goes and pins Chelsea. And she goes on top of her and pulls the legs up in a good pinning position. Pins her 1, 2, 3, a surprise pin. Liv Morgan pins Chelsea Green and wins. She wins, and Not a huge surprise as they're really pushing the Dom King and Liv Queen gimmick. They're really pushing it with Judgment Day, so it makes sense that she won. And she celebrates, and happy birthday, Liv Morgan. Backstage, Penta confronted Chad Gable, who was very over when they saw him on screen. He begs for forgiveness. He's doing this too much, and then I think Penta told him to talk to Ray. I think they're doing something with Chad. They're like, I don't know what they're doing. Why is he so apologetic? And it's like he's being disingenuous now because he's being so overly apologetic. That's what it feels like. Backstage, Seth Rollins talks to Montez Ford. Then the Usos walk in with Jacob Fatu. They go back and forth before Jacob basically walks off after they want him to go after Seth, and they're doing something where Jacob's not going to take orders from the Usos. Instead, he only takes orders from Roman. Bayley talked to Lyra Valkyria backstage. She's going to turn heel. I'm telling you, they're setting this out. Bayley is turning heel on Lyra Valkyria. Then she will wrestle Lyra Valkyria and lose to Lyra, and that'll be who she puts over on the way out before she leaves WWE later this year. Sol Ruka was out next. Lyra Valkyria was out after the break, and we get the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. Sol Ruka defending against Lyra Valkyria. Very hot crowd here. They like both of them. They like Sol. They like Lyra, but Sol was definitely more over. I thought Lyra might get more cheers because it's a European crowd, but they really like Sol. Eventually, we all know how this ends. Sol hits the Soul Snatcher on Lyra for the win. I thought there was a chance Bayley would turn on Lyra in this match, but I'm telling you, that's going to happen. I think Bayley wants to put Lyra over on the way out, but Sol got the win over Lyra here. Backstage, Jay confronts Jacob for walking off. Jimmy was there as well. Jacob brings up LA Knight, and they're playing the whole thing where Jay is the hothead. I'll be honest with you, as much as I hate the Yeet gimmick, and if you listen to my podcast last year, you know how much I don't like Yeet Man, how much I hated that version of Jey Uso, but the right hand man is someone who I enjoy. I like the right hand man, Jey Uso. I hate the Yeet Man, but I do like the right hand man. We see LA Knight heading to the ring. They show us the Eiffel Tower after a break before the camera zooms back into the arena, and then LA Knight was out next. He cuts a promo on Roman Reigns. He called out Adam Pearce, and it looks like this is a heel turn. I think it's time. I really want to see LA Knight go heel. Look, they're not going to push him as a babyface world champion. He's not over as he was like 3 years ago. I can tell you a story. When I attended SummerSlam a few years ago in 2023 in Detroit, everywhere I walked in the stadium, everyone was saying, yeah. It was hurting my ears. All I heard was, yeah. I haven't been to a WWE live event since, but I would doubt he's that over as he once was. And it's unfortunate because I think they kind of missed a peak with him. And kind of like with Sami Zayn, they missed their chance. I think they did. Now, he might do well as a heel. I think it's time to go heel with him. If he stays as a babyface, like, he'll never get past this level. Why not try as a heel? It might be worse, but it could get better. Who knows? Anyway, Jey Uso came out. He does the fucking yeet, of course. Paris loved the yeet. They loved it when it first started, like 2 years ago at Backlash, when I think that was in Lyon, France. But he did the yeet, and that's like they were going crazy with him. Kind of just took off. Anyway, he warned LA Knight, and he's just so much less intimidating when he's Yeet Man. When he's in the right hand man, it's different. Anyway, after he walked off, LA Knight told Jey Uso, "Screw your family," and Jay was going to go after him, but Jimmy restrained him. That looks like a heel. It really does. Backstage, you had Chad Gable apologize to Rey Mysterio. He accepts. And again, I think it's just, I don't know what they're doing here with Gable with all this apologies. Ray told him to apologize to someone else. I guess that would have to mean Otis and Tozawa. That's who he probably means. I don't know. Penta was out next, and Ray came out to a big pop. We got the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Penta defending against Rey Mysterio in a match I wish they kind of built up more. They could have made this into a bigger match, but it was fun. Crowd was super hot for this. They love Rey. The thing is with WWE, when you have like these elder statesmen kind of guys, like, the John Cena's, the Randy Orton's, Rey Mysterio now, him as well, he's definitely in that category. A lot of these European fans grew up watching him, so they're very into them and they're very loyal to them, and they really see them as like huge megastars. So whenever these guys go over, they're just super over, like the Cenas, the Ortons, the Mysterios, and Ray's very over here. They went back and forth. They loved Ray. They liked Penta too. They didn't turn on Penta. They didn't boo him, but they were just more into Ray. And eventually Penta won with the Mexican Destroyer. Fun match. He retains their Intercontinental Championship. But the bigger story was the post match as Ethan Page and Rusev attacked both of them. And then Dragon Lee ran out, tried to make the save, but then he got beat down as well. And then they had Rusev rip Rey Mysterio's mask off. But that sent out Chad Gable to make the save. He German suplexes Rusev and Page. And then he, after like Penta and Dragon Lee are hiding Rey's face, hit the towel over him. Chad grabs Rey's mask and gives it to Rey. They put it back on him. He's the ultimate babyface now. We'll see where this is going. We went to a Raquel Rodriguez video promo. Had her match next week with Io Sky. It's a semifinal. After the break, we went to an Io Sky video package, a promo she cut on Raquel Rodriguez before their semifinal match next week in Baltimore. We go backstage, Roxanne Perez talking to Liv Morgan, and she admits she was wrong about last week, and she was frustrated, and she says she hopes either Liv or Raquel win, and she even teased that the two of them can be in the finals together, which was interesting. I don't want them to go that direction, but they could. I don't know. I doubt so. I think Io's going to win next week, but I think Liv's probably going to the finals on her bracket, on her side, so I don't know. I think they could go Liv and Rhea at SummerSlam. They might want to do that. I don't know. But Liv and Roxanne seem to make up. And then JD and Dom walk in, and Liv walks off with them. She wanted Roxanne to come, but Roxanne says she'll meet with them later. They're clearly teasing tension still. WWE, they're going to drag this out for 6 months. So they're going to tease Roxanne turning on Liv for like 6 months. It's the same playbook. It's what Paul Levesque does. He just he does the same stuff. Like he did this 2 years ago with Nia Jax as champion and Tiffany Stratton with Money in the Bank, and Tiffany eventually cashed in on her. Same thing I think is going to happen here. Liv's going to hold the belt for a long time. Roxanne's winning Money in the Bank in October now, and then she will cash in on Liv. It's the exact same playbook. And then we had Seth Rollins come out next. During the break, Tala Tonga was out, followed by Ricky Saints. That tells you neither of those two are winning. And then Javon Evans came out after the break, and we get the King of the Ring quarterfinal Fatal 4-Way match. Seth Rollins, Javon Evans, Tala Tonga, Ricky Saints. Match was a lot of fun. Fans are really into it, as you'd expect. And it was going, all guys had their moments. Javon had some showcases. He had a really good dive. He almost did like the Undertaker dive to the outside, which was cool. Seth hit a couple curb stomps onto the announce booth. Eventually, near the end of the match, Seth hit a curb stomp on Ricky Saints. It looks like it's over 1, 2, but then Austin Theory pulls the referee out. Seth is shocked, and then Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins, takes him out of the match, and it looks like Ricky Saints is about to take over and win. He's going to pin Seth, but when he gets up, Javon Evans hits an OG cutter on Ricky Saints, pins him 1, 2, 3. Javon Evans gets a surprise win. He celebrates with the fans. He advances to the semifinals. I'd love to see Obafemi Javon Evans in the finals, but like I don't know if we're going to get that. Does that really seem like the kind of match they want to do right now? And like it's like, okay, Oba's going to win. I don't think Javon can win King of the Ring, but Oba winning, it's like he's not winning the belt this soon, is he? He's not beating Roman Reigns. I guess he could beat Cody Rhodes. He could beat Gunther maybe, but I don't know. I don't know where they're going here, but it was a little bit confusing. And Seth and Roman's not happening. I thought that we're going to get that match at SummerSlam. We're not getting that. Hope we don't get that at WrestleMania because they've always wanted to do that match. I hope we don't get that. If it's Roman or Seth or Roman and Rock, I'll take Roman Rock over that, to be honest. But that was Raw tonight. Javon Evans advances, as does Liv Morgan in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, respectively. And we'll see what happens next.